In May 2007, the McCann family, Jerry and Kate, both British doctors, and their 3 young children, arrived in the sunny village of Praia da Luz in Portugal. Their days were filled with laughter, sun-soaked beaches, and the comfort of a family resort. They stayed at the Ocean Club Apartments, a relaxed and family-friendly destination popular with British tourists. But on the night of May 3rd, that dream turned into every parent's worst nightmare. That evening, the McCanns put their children, 3-year-old Madeleine and her younger twin siblings, to bed at around 8:30 p.m. Then, as they had done on nights before, they joined friends at a tapas bar just 55 meters away from the apartment. They took turns checking on their children every 20 to 30 minutes. At 10 p.m., Kate McCann went to check on the kids. The window was open. The shutters were raised. Madeleine's bed was empty. She was gone. The alarm was raised almost immediately. Guests and staff from the Ocean Club helped search the complex. Police were notified, but by sunrise it was clear Madeleine McCann had vanished without a trace. The Portuguese police initially treated the case as a possible abduction by a stranger, perhaps a pedophile or a trafficker. Roadblocks were set up, airports and borders were alerted, and sniffer dogs were brought in. But there were no clear leads, no demands for ransom, no evidence of forced entry. News of the disappearance spread like wildfire. Madeleine's bright blue eyes and distinctive right eye mark were plastered across newspapers worldwide. The McCanns launched an international campaign, speaking to the press, appealing to the public, even meeting with the Pope. Yet behind the scenes, investigators were hitting walls, until they shifted focus. As the days dragged into weeks, the narrative began to twist. Portuguese police began to question the McCanns' version of events. Why had there been no forced entry? Why did the sniffer dogs react in the apartment? Specifically in the living room and near a rental car the McCanns used weeks after Madeleine's disappearance. Speculation turned dark. By August 2007, just 3 months after their daughter's disappearance, Kate and Jerry McCann were declared arguidos, formal suspects in the case. The media turned. Headlines questioned their grief. Online forums brimmed with accusations. The public was split, some supportive, others suspicious. But there was a problem. There was no evidence. Nobody, no trace, no confession. DNA results were inconclusive. Timeline inconsistencies were chalked up to trauma. The dogs, some experts said, were unreliable as sole indicators. By 2008, the Portuguese investigation stalled. The McCanns were cleared of their suspect status. And still, no Madeleine. Years passed. Leads came and went. Psychics, sightings, conspiracy theories all led nowhere. Then, in 2011, Scotland Yard launched Operation Grange, a full-scale review of the case. New technology, fresh eyes, and millions in funding aimed to finally crack the mystery. In 2020, a twist stunned the world. A new suspect emerged, Christian Brückner, a convicted German sex offender with a long criminal history, including child abuse and rape. At the time of Madeleine's disappearance, Brückner had been living in a camper van in the Algarve region, not far from Praia da Luz. Phone records placed him near the resort the night Madeleine disappeared. He had burglarized vacation homes. He had a violent past, and he had told an acquaintance, disturbingly, that he knew what happened to Madeleine. Could this be the break investigators had waited over a decade for? To this day, Madeleine McCann remains missing. She would be 21 years old now. The case is still open. German prosecutors have named Brückner a formal suspect, but no charges related to Madeleine have been filed as of yet. He remains in prison for other crimes. For Kate and Jerry McCann, the uncertainty is a wound that never heals. They have lived every parent's nightmare. Not just the disappearance of a child, but the unbearable ache of not knowing. They have been accused, doubted, defended, and pitted, all while still waking up to the same absence each day. What happened to Madeleine McCann? Was it a random act of violence, as once believed? Or was it someone familiar with the resort? Someone who'd watched and waited? The truth, for now, remains buried beneath years of confusion, media frenzy, and a trail gone cold in the warm streets of Portugal. but someone somewhere knows what happened that night. And until that silence is broken, Madeleine's name will continue to echo in every corner of the world. A ghost in the headlines, and a child lost in the snow globe of a summer dream shattered.